Hi, kiddo. How was your day? Oh, that does not sound great. Would it help, perchance, if I told you that you're an amazing human and you have a heart of gold? Yeah, I see how it's not that easy. I'm sorry to hear that. I suppose those days have to exist now and then, but doesn't make them any easier, I guess. Oh, come here, you. So, what's been going on lately? Hmm, care to elaborate on that? Well, we don't have to. Venting isn't always the answer. So, if that's how you're feeling, how about this? How about I tell you about a time you saved me? Of course, you have on numerous occasions. It's just not something that you always notice doing, but it definitely does happen. Well, it is an old story, I guess, but it is not all that old because, well, you're in it, and so is your cousin. Yeah, this was the one time you, me, and cousin Charlie, we were going to see a museum. Well, before going there, I felt there was a lot of paternal wisdom that needed to be transferred, so I did have a plan for that. It did, in fact, involve a lot of monologuing, but also ice cream, though. Well, Charlie hadn't been really trained in the art of hearing me talk a lot, so I figured a small bribe would probably help, and, well, it sort of did. Well, both of you stayed in my general vicinity and promised to listen as well as you could. I remember going on a big tangent about how all humans are essentially art. I mean, not the best decision to bring that up at the time, maybe. I feel like Charlie are really into it. But humans definitely are art. Like, without using your phone, what would you say is a rough makeshift definition of what art is for you? I know I'm putting you on the spot. Just Just say something. Give me anything. There. And having heard that, I still stand by the idea that humans are art. You are most definitely art. Just a bit more lively art than some. Right, right. Let's get back to it. I didn't exactly have you do tests afterwards, but from the visit, I would say certain parts stuck with each of you, and you wouldn't be able to quote me exactly, but you did get a fair bit of the points. Well, you know how to enjoy a museum, how to interpret art, how to have fun in a way that is the best for everyone once you're there, and what we could expect once we did get there, and the meaning of life, and, well, these sort of things. Well, I may have hyped it up a bit too much, honestly. Once we actually got through all the security checkpoints and the souvenir shops and all the lines, and we were finally approaching the actual exhibit, well, we were in a hallway of sorts leading up to a giant room filled with paintings. And at this time, I had a hand in each of my hands, one for each of you. You were both walking by my side, and I was looking ahead and considering what might be coming along, just hoping for this to be a memorable and fantastic experience for everyone involved. Arguably, yes, it turned out memorable for me anyway, but I don't know if you could remember this. Either way, that's where things started to go terribly wrong. You see, Charlie janked loose and just bolted down the hallway and ran straight into the giant big room. Before I had even registered what was happening, you were also loose and following. Charlie goes into the room to the left and stops with a face an inch away from the nearest painting, just staring at it, as if trying to decipher all the secrets of creation from that one spot in the middle of the painting. My mind at this time is racing with all the possible outcomes of what is going down. Outcomes like paying for a priceless painting, or something that would create a terrible memory for everyone, like being thrown out by the guards, and then we go home and throw away the watercolors because none of you will ever touch paint ever again. Things like that. Just, normal overthinking dad stuff. Well, thanks to you, that's not how to play it out. before I knew it, you were holding Charlie's hand, and you said, "Step back." Obviously, you were given the answer of all answers. Why? But you weren't done. You just walked the two of you back just a few steps, and then you said, "Sometimes you have to take a few steps back to see the art the way the artist intended." I mean, in the moment, I was just still panicking and calming down slowly, realizing that nothing traumatic was going to happen. It was all actually real good, thanks to you. But looking back at it now, it's entirely beautiful and very true. I think that applies to a lot of things. The rough times, the paintings, art, people. It's the same with you. You and your heart of gold that you are somehow, sometimes, unable to see. Sometimes you have to take a few steps back to see the heart